Hi everyone, welcome to my channel International Storyteller. In this channel you will find true horror stories worldwide. These stories are for entertainment purposes only. In this video, I will tell you the true story of the Chinese missing bus 375. This story happened on November 14, 1995, in Beijing. At midnight, bus 375 pulled out of the Yuan bus terminus. This was the last bus of the night, and its destination was Changshan, also known as Fragrant Hills, in the Haidian district of China capital, Beijing. The bus driver was a male, while the conductor was a female. The night was bitterly cold, and a harsh wind was blowing. The bus stopped at the south gate next to the Summer Palace, and when the doors opened, 4 passengers got on. Those 4 passengers were an old lady, a young couple, and a young man. The young couple sat at the front, behind the driver, while the old lady and the young man sat on the other side of the bus, beside the doors. As the bus drove through the night, all they could hear was the sound of the bus engine. It was a quiet, remote area, and there were no other vehicles on the road. After a while, the driver saw 2 shadows by the side of the road, trying to stop the bus and get on. At first, the driver was reluctant, since they were not waiting at a bus stop, but the kind-hearted conductor put in some good words, saying it was already the last bus. The driver stopped the bus and let them in. When the doors opened, 3 people got on the bus. There were 2 men who were supporting a third man between them, holding him up by his shoulders. The man in the middle had his hair hanging loose and his head was bowed, so nobody could see his face. All 3 were dressed in traditional Chinese clothes from the Qing dynasty. Their faces were much whiter than a normal person's, and they didn't say anything. The other passengers on the bus were scared and looked nervously at each other as the driver pulled off and continued down the road. The female conductor tried to calm everyone down by saying, "Don't be afraid. They could be just actors shooting a costume drama and had no time to change their costumes. Or maybe they got drunk after work and forgot to change clothes." The old woman kept turning around and staring at the 3 strangers who were sitting at the back of the bus. None of the passengers said a word. All they could hear was the wind whistling outside and the sound of the bus engine. After 3 or 4 stops, the young couple reached their home and got off the bus. The only passengers remaining inside the bus were the young man, the old lady, and the 3 people wearing traditional Chinese clothes and sitting on the last seat of the bus. The bus driver and the female conductor were chatting and laughing. Suddenly, the old lady claimed her purse was missing and began telling everyone that the young man had stolen her purse. The young man stood up and started arguing with her, but the old woman grabbed him by the wrist and demanded that the driver let them off at the next stop so she could take him to the police station to settle the matter. The young man was speechless for a moment. When the bus stopped, the old lady dragged the young man out. They watched as the bus drove off into the night, and the old lady breathed a sigh of relief. But the young man became angry when he saw no police station in sight. So the young man asked, "Where's the police station?" But the old lady replied, "There is no police station here, and I just saved your life." The young man got confused and said, "What? How did you save my life?" Then the old lady said, "Those 3 people wearing traditional Chinese clothes and sitting in the last seat of the bus were ghosts." But the young man could not believe what the old lady had just said. So the old lady explained, "Ever since they got on the bus, I had my doubts about them, so I kept looking back at them. It so happened that there was a wind blowing through the window, and I saw everything. It lifted their robes' dresses, and I saw that they had no legs." The young man stared at the old lady in surprise. He started sweating and couldn't say a word. Then the old lady and the young man went to the police station and told them what they had seen. But the police did not believe the story told by the old lady. They scolded the old lady, telling her that she was mentally ill. The old lady looked very sad and helpless and returned from the police station. The next day, bus 375 failed to report to the Changshan station, also known as Fragrant Hills. It had vanished along with the driver and the female conductor. The police searched the entire city, but could find no trace of it. That night, the Beijing evening newspaper and media reported on the story. The old woman and the young man were both interviewed on TV. 2 days later, the police eventually found the missing bus. It was discovered submerged in the Miyan Reservoir, about 100 kilometers from Fragrant Hills. Inside the bus, they discovered 3 badly decomposed bodies. They are the bodies of the bus driver, the female conductor, and an unidentified body. There were a number of other mysteries surrounding this case. First, the bus didn't have enough gas to get all the way to the Miyan Reservoir, and when the police opened the gas tank, they discovered it was full of blood. Secondly, even though the bodies were found only 2 days after they disappeared, they were very badly decomposed. Even if it was summer, the process of decomposition could not be this quick, and the bus went missing during the cold season of November. An autopsy confirmed that there had been no intentional meddling with the bodies. How could they decompose so quickly? Finally, the police did a strict inspection of all the security camera tapes on each entrance leading to the Miyan Reservoir, but the bus wasn't seen in any of them. How could the bus get there without being seen by the CCTV camera? To this day, it remains an unsolved mystery.